Lamar Jackson. I've been hearing a lot of different reports. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens offered him $133 million guaranteed. And then all of a sudden I hear another report. I think it may have been Adam Schefter saying, no, they offered him like around Kyler Murray's guaranteed or something like that. Like, I've been hearing so many conflicting reports. It's been very weird to me. How do you feel about just all these different reports about Lamar Jackson's sort of contract negotiations?
I think it's a bunch of. It's kind of like they're just like it feels like they're just trying to like spin
the narrative.
Yeah, that's what it feels like because like we don't really know for sure. It's not like he has an agent that can leak this kind of stuff. So if anything, all the info was coming from the Ravens side.
But then I heard, so Stephen A., he said on First Take that he talked to Lamar Jackson's camp, who I think Lamar Jackson doesn't have a camp. It's just his mom and him. So that's what I believe. I think he probably talked to his mother. And he said, and Stephen A. said that his camp, Lamar Jackson's camp, said that those things about, oh, they offered him like Kyler Murray guaranteed, that was a lie. That they offered Lamar Jackson $133 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed. I don't know who to believe. I really don't. It's weird to me. Do you think there's some collusion going on with Lamar Jackson from the league, from the NFL?
It is kind of funny.
It is, right?
But I get he's a former MVP, but like you gotta pay a guy $200 million guaranteed that hasn't finished the last 2 years. It's kind of like the owners like to save money. They don't like to, But there's also the other side, because there's nuance in all of this stuff. There's also the other side that Lamar has gotten hurt because the Ravens failed to put talent around him. That is also the other side of the thing.
That's true.
But he still got hurt, and it's 2 years in a row. And he hasn't really played at that MVP level yet these past 2 seasons. So are you really willing to commit $200 million guaranteed to a guy like that?
Like fully guaranteed?
Yeah, fully guaranteed. Like,
no. Like if I'm one of these GMs, these owners, I'm not giving you $230 million guaranteed. I'm not giving you $200 million fully guaranteed. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. You've been injured these past 2 years. You haven't been able to finish the season. I'll give you a little bit more than Kyler Murray because after Kyler Murray, that's Deshaun. So I'll make you the second highest quarterback in the league when it comes to fully guaranteed contracts. But you're not surpassing Deshaun Watson. That was an outlier. That was a team that was desperate to be relevant. I'm not doing that because then I'm going to set a precedent, right, that every really good quarterback, when they're in contract negotiation, they want to top the other guy. They want to get 250 fully guaranteed. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to set the quarterback market. And so the Ravens, on the other hand, if the reports are true that they offered him $133 million fully guaranteed, then shame on them. That should not be the case. I would offer him more than Kyler Murray. That's fair. But if, on the other hand, Lamar Jackson is saying, well, I want more than Deshaun, then shame on you because that's ridiculous. I don't know, man. It's a collusion. I feel like
I think the owners are kind of like, I think they are just saying like we're taking a stand, like this is getting out of hand. Daniel Jones is getting $160 million.
We're gonna talk about that.
Even though his contract is way more friendly because it's really only like
2 years.
Yeah.
And then the cap, I think the dead cap, I have the information. I'll share it later.
I think it's a lot of incentives and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of variables around that
Geno
contract.
Smith deal was pretty friendly too. So
yeah, but this right here, this is gonna
drag out for a while.
It's gonna hurt your.
And I think
cap
it sounds
situation.
weird because like all of these QB needy teams is like, nah.
That is true. That is really true. Like the Lions, the Miami Dolphins, the Commanders.
The Commanders,
What?
the Falcons,
the
Panthers. Everybody just like, that's okay. And then there also was a thing that they don't want to do the work to drop a contract just for the Ravens to match it.
Mm-hmm.
So
pretty much like, you know how the NBA and they have restricted free agents, and how I'll give you an example like the Suns with DeAndre Ayton, where the Indiana Pacers offering them like 4 years, $160 million, and then all of a sudden, the Phoenix Suns, they just matched them and got him back. So they don't want to have that situation, and so I think the Ravens
and then having these reports
decision.
leak out, and then the QBs that's currently on your roster that could be just like, I was just the second fiddle guy, you know.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are making a smart decision. As bad as it may look at times for the Ravens, because not giving Lamar Jackson any help these past 4 years is just ridiculous. That's the one thing they should be blamed for, is not giving Lamar Jackson any help. But when it comes to these contract negotiations and how they're sort of dealing with it, I think they're making the right decision, as long as they offered him a fair amount of money. If they didn't offer him a fair amount of money, then I would have to look at Baltimore and say, shame on you. But Ozzie Newsome, he's still in the building, who's well-respected, one of the best in the business. So I feel like, are they really doing something bad if they have Ozzie Newsome sort of overseeing everything? This is just a weird situation, man. It's a weird situation. I can't put my finger on it.
It really, like, the whole paying QBs thing, it's kind of like what side of the coin you fall over. Because there's one side, it's like, pay the QBs what they own. But then there's other sides, like, you can't really build a elite roster when you paying so much of the cap is going to the Q. So you got the fans versus Jerry Jones and Steven Jones.
So, like, when I hear these reporters, like on Get Up on ESPN saying just pay him what he wants, it just, like, I get it, you can't play both sides, but you have to be logical. You have to understand, like, cap space is real, people. There is cap space. You have to manipulate cap space in order to get what you want. And when you sign a quarterback to $230 million fully guaranteed, there's a hard cap. There is no flexibility.
You got to be one of the best drafting teams of all time in order to pull that off.
Absolutely. This is where I give the 49ers credit. They gave up all those picks for Trey Lance, and they're still competing. They're still one of the best rosters in the league. That's where I give the 49ers credit on that one. And the Eagles as well, when they remember when they gave up all those picks for Carson Wentz, and they still was able to get a lot of really good players, drafted a lot of really good players, and recoup.
Yep.
But when you can do that when you don't pay your quarterback a lot of money. And when you pay your quarterback a lot of money, an enormous amount of money, you're not gonna have no flexibility. Why you think the Packers trying to get rid of Aaron Rodgers?
Why do you think the Eagles getting rid of pretty much the whole defense? All them dudes due up for money, they getting rid of them because that Jalen Hurts contract coming up.
If your quarterback is not Patrick Mahomes, if your quarterback is not Joe Burrow, if your quarterback is not Justin Herbert, you shouldn't be getting no fully guaranteed. I like Josh Allen, but he's not those guys. He's not those guys. I like Lamar Jackson. He's not those guys. So you have to be careful. Even if your quarterback is really, really good, you cannot be overpaying, because at the end of the day, football is a dependent sport. There are 11 players, sometimes 12, that come on the field that have a job to do, and the quarterback is dependent on the other positions to do their job. And when you don't have as good a talent as you need, guess what? You're going to lose. So the Ravens try to do something. Try to make this work. Lamar Jackson, try to do something. Try to make this work, because I'm tired of hearing these reports all over the place. I just want Lamar Jackson to do the smart thing.